Of course, it is a very deeper thing which I am going to present before you face by face. We are really at the pre dawn of a new race. We often like to watch movies, serials, dramas, songs, etc. But normally people fall in love or identify themselves after watching these movies, etc., with the character role played by actors and singers. Then there are very few finds attracted to the concept, screenplay, and the story writer and lyricist. There are still very few who looks for the director who has materialized the entire thing to make it realize to the common. So the one who has maximum curiosity, direct its attention to understand the depth of creativity and contribution of deeper thoughts of the director and creator of the drama infused to the viewers community as an end result. It is exactly showing gratification to the originator of the concept writer or lyricist. There cannot be any greater reward than this when we understand the concept of the drama and its creator, because the director knows very well whom to choose as actors, singers, members of technical team, etc., to make the movie successful in its true sense. Equally, there are very few also fascinated or deeply involved with this big drama of creation and sustenance of this world around us. I was one among few to be impelled to find out the director, creator, and promoter of this gigantic, timeless play running forever in this universe. All along my life, I was trying to knock the door of this mysterious creator who himself is acting through everyone in every form to manifest his concept in different characters. Symbolically, I just gave the example of the movies as we watch. So, similarly, if we watch the drama, what is being played on this universe and the world is the platform, we can understand what I mean to say. Looking at the present severity of crisis as usual, I was asking the question to reveal me the answer, the causes and consequences of these happenings on the earth. Everyone is really looking for this question is what is happening around us. Such a big crisis which no one has ever thought of, not even the entire humanity, nor any governments, nor any scientist. No one has ever thought of it is going to come in such a severity, the crisis. So I was asking the question to reveal me the answer of the causes and consequences of the happenings on the earth. That was the morning before the sunrise when I was waiting for the light to be flashed. To put my question to him, I saw the sky was thickly clouded where the sun is supposed to appear. I am grateful and thankful to the divine creator to see to my utter surprise that in the appropriate time of hour of God, the golden sun raised, breaking all the clamors of the cloud, and revealed to me through its radiant rays as if the words of the divine. And what it told to my crisis? One who has looked at me straight will grieve no more, will fear no more, will remain to live as free as ever one is. Joy and ecstasy will never leave him, as he will foresee the birth of a new race, new consciousness, and the new world. This is what revealed to me, and I embark upon to convey to you this fact of the revelations, what I felt, and how it could go to you. I looked at this beautiful earth and kept on thinking, from where to where we came to this wonderful, mysterious world, so harmoniously balanced and equipped with materially evolved nature, which is composed with oceans, rivers, waterfalls, three-fourths of the total earth, and mountains, islands, deserts, forests, valley, and plain lands, one-fourth of the total area on earth. To maintain an influence over the, it is composed so well to maintain the influence over the weather, temperature, and atmosphere of the earth, along with all necessary invisible chemical ingredients for our living beings, without which we may not have been able to survive for a moment on this earth. For example, the oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, a chemical ingredients for our living beings. It is so well composed, without which we may not have been able to survive for a moment on this earth. Again, so colorful with the presence of different species and their innumerable physical appearances and forms, sounds, their expressions and beauty in the shape of physical nature, as if someone has kept it well arranged and equipped with all necessities and comfort for the chosen travelers into this world. Maybe for a limited time, as few years or so, we are here as a traveler on the earth, which we call a human birth and life on earth for all of us. So this is where the platform of the world platform, very well arranged and equipped by someone, which we do not get time to think, but we pass on as a traveler for few years or so. But during this process of making convenience of all things given to man on this earth, he has forgotten mostly to discover the real fact of his existence, that who made this brilliant world and what is the purpose and concept of creating it. That is where the spirituality comes into existence on earth, to remind and explain to us the very purpose of our being on this earth, as a transient or momentary traveler, to spend some time on earth and experience the inherent need of birth, growth, decay, and death, for the very progress of our eternal and immortal journey. Sometimes the common people think, why these spiritual organizations are there? What do they do? We do not understand what for they are occupying so much space, property, this, that, etc. But to indicate that this is where the spirituality comes into existence, who thinks on behalf of everyone, for the entire humanity, that why humanity is here on earth. This is the work of a spiritual man or the spiritual organizations. What we see only the happenings in the material world, but if we can perceive beyond this visible appearance of the material world, the invisible forces that controlling the whole material affairs of the earth also. There are invisible forces which we do not see, but the spiritual man can perceive it. A small example of interpretation I'll give you. Last time I made a video talk on Sri Professor Manoj Das on his physical departure on 27th April 2021, who has so many fans to follow him. That is what we see and understand. I somehow, with the grace of the God, I had a good friendship with him, but I looked at the things in a very different perspective. So I'll just brief you a few lines how it means in the context of our conversation. What I felt, that this is what we see and understand, but it is not Manoj Das actual, whom people loved so much, neither to his literary command or his works, but the expression of the concept, wideness, or broad spectrum of lives narrated through him or his works by the divine as the creator who has personified himself in the name of Manoj Das. So truly, Manoj Das doesn't exist, but it is the divine who exists incognito. Wherever he finds the possibility of expression of the divine nature, is openly and humbly receptive by the person concerned. As the one Brahman wished to see himself as Ekashyambhu, means he wanted to see himself in many forms. That is the purpose of this, of the mysterious play, the drama, and joy of his progressive creation, where we are just part of its actors and actresses in different role and forms chosen luckily by the director of this universal drama. So it is the perspective how we understand. This is what the subject today, the advent of a new race. And we see what? Nature's pain on pre-birth of a new conscious world. That leads to the confusion of the appearance at the dawn of the birth of a new race with the new consciousness. What is the man facing today? The entire confusion, uncertainty, doubtful about its own survival even. Even the common man will not change himself so easily from his mechanical unconscious habit of life. Round and round they would go back, or they would pull the situation to the same imperfect, impure, unstable, imperious condition of living. Last time there was lockdown. The moment the lockdown was lifted or on lockdown process started, he came back to the same position because he wanted to do what he loves to do. He doesn't want to leave anything. Because they are ignorant about the secret objects of life's immortal journey here and teeming to follow the dictum of material world by deliberately throwing themselves to a precarious situation. That is why the government frames its rules, principles, and laws to control and safeguard the interest of the common mass. It may look a very materialistic, stringent approach by the government, on the part of the government, but that has to be enforced to sustain and uphold the mundane life of man. Many people may misunderstand, may accuse, but it has to be enforced to sustain and uphold the mundane life of man. Or because like a child, common mass of man is always runs in ignorant rules. He follows the ignorant path. Then what is about the people who think themselves intelligent, smart, civilized, erudite, populists, socialists, reformists, politicians and economists, and so-called great intellectuals among men and women? Finally, the guide of man and protector of human rights. What is their aim of life on earth? How do they want to correct the creatures and creator of this creation in this precarious situation of human being? What is the future of human being for them? Mind is the greatest force and weapons of man. Cultivating its power and capacity, applying its maximum knowledge in this ignorant world, it has got its superiority over every living being on earth. But now he himself doesn't know where to go and how to move from here, because he has lost its primordial innocence, simplicity, purity, humility, and above all, dependence on the existence of the omniscient and almighty. Science has made him mad, proud, to be highly materialistic, and taught him how to extract progressive happiness from this material world. He has been blindly busy in that path and pushed to a destination where he is scared of losing his own material existence. He has reached a destination where he himself is scared of losing his own material existence. So here he has to be conscious enough to listen to the guidance of the Almighty. Once again, he has to surrender and should be open to understand the vast nature around him and inside him as inner nature, which he failed to implement as its main project of life on earth. People do, when they passed out from university, from different colleges, they do the project like MPhil and doctorate. And I used to laugh that what is they are looking for. The real doctorate is to discover the fourth dimension within us. That is the only thing where you can make the doctorate. But the pupil makes in several subjects doctorate. Of course, it is required materially. Well, let's come back to our subject. At least those who are capable of it and carrying a dream of it in their subconscious part of life should try to establish and cultivate a new consciousness of another dimension in the quest of their lives being on earth. Those would build a new world of new consciousness as a new race and would be the pathfinders of mankind. They would act now like a warrior in their aspiration to open the new dimension of conscious mind with the help of the divine force, and they would be able to fight successfully on earth the great battle of the future against the past that seeks to endure still on earth in the form of what? Religion, which is obtuse about the truth, or anarchism of ignorance and falsehood, which makes the same human being as their instrument to fight among each other. We were confused because so far man has never understood that he has been acting and ruling on earth on behalf of the ignorance, not on behalf of the divine force. He may claim, but not. Inconscience energy, falsehood, and death. He's been working for this. Who have given the man power, ego, desire to acquire and enjoy their material affluence. That is why, whenever any truth, knowledge, and higher good is established upon earth by higher beings of higher worlds, Mahanatma, as we say, immediately that has been derogated and polluted to the state of perversion or confusion and chaos in the system, because man has always taken the side of the ignorance and falsehood to get his immediate rewards from the wrong energy so far ruling the earth, where human being is just a puppet. But now at this juncture, a few pioneers among men will walk strongly with the truth and would be ready to receive the richness of the truth. We have not seen yet the richness of the truth. Men whom we accuse for such and such reason, actually, they have become the instrument of the forces which are the wrong energy that drives you to represent a wrong way of working on earth. So there are some big people whom we see and whom we accuse sometime, and we see also. So they are open, they have receptivity for those wrong forces in the entire of their life. So they identify with those forces and driven with that energy. That is why the man is a puppet. But we just blindly accuse XYZ, but actually they are the instrument of the wrong forces which is ruling the earth still now. But as I told, now at this juncture, a few pioneers among men will walk strongly with the truth. They are preparing. We do not know behind the veil. There are many spiritual men are preparing themselves, which we have ignored, which we didn't give any kind of notice of it. But now we will understand that with the truth and would be ready to receive the richness of the truth, which they are consciously aware and imbibed in their way of living, to manifest the great future that is to be born and that is so near now.